Yeah, we are hear you.
Please, the panelists present. Are you here? Introduce themselves, please.
Okay, thank you. I will start. Good afternoon to all and good day to all. My name is Adebayo Didi Abidonu. I am from Togo. I am a young climate activist. I am working in an NGO named AGSG, and our work is focused on a rural area, especially in agricultural area. Thank you very much.
Okay, Madam Zasbia Sirin, are you here, please?
Yes, I'm here. I'm Jasvia and I'm from Anhui University, China. So I'm very happy to be here. And yesterday I was also here, and that session was very fruitful. And I do hope that today's session will also be informative and discussion will be good. So
Okay.
let's proceed.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. Madam, our panelist three, Madam Itisar from Morocco.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am Intisar Mouamin. I am an agricultural engineer in science and techniques of crop production. And I'm currently a PhD student in UM6P and the African Plant Nutrition Institute, APNI, working on soil health, carbon sequestration in olive crop systems. And I hope that this session will be very interesting for our guests, and we are here to share knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, both we talk in West African. You are agree with me. In Africa, West Africa, we have two languages, French and English. So give me one moment. I want to introduce in French. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. On parle de l'Afrique de l'Ouest. Ici, tout le monde ne comprend pas anglais. Et ceux qui ne comprennent pas anglais, vous pouvez intervenir en français. Même moi, mon anglais n'est pas trop clair. Donc, vous pouvez laisser du message en français et on fera de notre mieux pour qu'on se comprenne ensemble. L'essentiel, c'est que ça soit compris. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler sur saison 7 qui concerne les solutions basées en agriculture, sur les écosystèmes, en agriculture, foresterie, aquaculture et la pêche. Donc, ensemble, together, on va discuter sur ces choses-là. Alors, maintenant, Mr. Benofo, okay, one moment. Mr. Benofo, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
You can see my screen?
Yeah, your screen is good.
That's fine. So can I go on?
Wait, Mr. Benofo.
Can I go on?
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
Yes, you can go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are watching from. I am Samuel Kwesi Benefo, working as a principal technologist in Soil Research Institute, Ghana, and also the Global Research and Development Lead for my foundation. And I'm presenting on the topic, ecosystem-based solutions in agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and aquaculture. My presentation will walk you through the introductory part, then I will debase it into the various ecosystem-based solutions in agriculture, fisheries, forestry, and aquaculture, and I'll give you the conclusion. Good. Healthy ecosystem, it's provide a wide range of life-sustaining benefits, from clean water, from fertile soil for agriculture, habitat for other natural products to support economic growth, for security and well-being. So once we want to keep our ecosystem in good shape, it is prudent that we also look out for a lot of things that will, help our ecosystem to survive. Good. So without much ado, I'll move on and continue with my screen. I'm having issues here, but I hope to, okay, good. Right, so the use of diversity for ecosystems such as wetland, forest, and man presents a proven strategy for building resilience into climate change. And these natural systems can reduce the impact of flood and droughts, hillside erosion, and protect lives and properties against the storm and the surgy waves. So we also look at the EBS approach, which is the ecosystem-based approach, in different ways. And looking at this, where I am driving at, we are looking at approach that will help in the resilience of our ecosystem. Our ecosystem need to come to life. Most of our ecosystem-based solutions are dead, and we need to keep it into shape. We need to keep it into a good form, and it must be alive so that work and everything must go. It's also support the economy of different communities. Now we are looking at the ecosystem-based solutions. This is the real deal. Now it's the practice that prioritize the health and sustainability of entire ecosystems. And these approaches aim to enhance productivity while minimizing negative environmental impacts. And so when we look at the various divisions, what really goes into agriculture as a source of ecosystem solution, we are looking at soil conservation measures. And when we look at soil conservation, we are talking about plowing, building of terraces and windbreaks, to prevent soil erosion and degradation. When farmers cultivate on the fields, they need to protect the land. Most of the time they leave the land bare. Looking at the nature of the field will tell you how you have to put your field together, or you compose your field together before you embark on any cultivation. And so with respect to terracing, where the land you construct that the step-like form, from the hillside upper slope through to the middle slope down to the valley bottom. When you get that, at least you are going to have some area for plants to survive and grow well. So you can't tell me that you do not have land. I'm on the hilly areas. Our country, we have only hilly areas around. No, you can practice terracing, and you can practice even contour plowing. It's also part of it. That can also help sustain the soil from erosion. Good. Then we look at agroforestry. This is basic. This is extremely important. Whilst we combine trees and shrubs with crops, and sometimes even cultivation, involvement of livestock in the same piece of landscape. You are using about one stone to kill about 3 or 4 birds. Land is scarce, especially in West Africa. So it is about time that the youth go into agroforestry, where you have your main crop, you have your trees, your shrubs, even with your livestock, and even the importance you get from your livestock is amazing, because whilst they defecate, their droppings also serve as manure for the soil. So in a nutshell, you are replenishing the fertility of the soil whilst cultivation goes on. Then we look at cover cropping. Cover cropping is a very important aspect of this presentation. Because of climate change, we are having issues of drier lands. And if you are able to cover your crops with leguminous crops, to cover the surface of the soil, at least to maintain the moisture level of the soil, because the moisture crops move or grow with moisture. If the moisture level in the soil is reduced, it is going to affect your crops. And so it is very, very important that you inculcate cover cropping, even within interspaced, where you have already done your main crop. Cover crops can also serve as an intercrop, just to protect the surface of the field for you. And as well, you are also conserving carbon dioxide. We are preaching and preaching and preaching that we need to conserve carbon sequestration. We need to conserve carbon. And this cover cropping is a major work into to conserve our carbon. Then we look at conservation tillage and no-till farming. This is another important issue. A lot of people go into mechanized farming because they know that it is very easy, using the tractor, the harrower, everything on the field. You know, when you do that, you cause compaction in the soil. And that compaction, when there is too much compaction, that soil we call the soil is having a high bulk density. And if the soil is having higher bulk density, it affects the soil structure and also reduces the increases erosion, and carbon sequestration can never happen because your soil structure is very hard, and it is not loose for these amendments to pass through. And so it is very important that we practice minimum tillage. If you can't do the no-till agriculture, at least the minimum tillage is very important. If you go above that, we are always going to destroy our soils, especially the 0 to 10 centimeters topsoil, where almost all the nutrients are being hidden. If you use the plow to plow the first layer of the soil, where is the food for the plant? Where is the food for the plant? And where is the water for the plant? Where is the strength of the plant? So you see, crops do not grow well, even though you are using mechanized farming. You are not getting the yield that you deserve. So this is the working to, this is the magic that we must go into conservation tillage or no-till farming, which is very good for us. Now, we look at the next one, which is for forestry. You know, how do we improve the solution or inculcate solution in the forestry industry? Fine. What I know is a sustainable management practice that consider a broader economic context and aims at maintaining or restoring the health, resilience, and functionality of the ecosystem. You see, in the first one, I have a first point here. This is biodiversity conservation and habitat protection. If you are to protect your habitat, it means that your habitat is free from diseases. If you are to protect your habitat is free from pests. These are the major detractors of the forest industry that destroy our forests. Now, if we don't control the illegal mining, it will also affect our forests, especially in West Africa. I will mention in Ghana, a lot of forests are being degraded and used as for mining, you know, and it is very bad. It is destroying the forestry system, it is destroying the forest ecology, and that we have to wake up as youth of Africa. We need to wake up and take back our land, take back our green environment for improved diversity. So we also look at sustainable harvesting and lodging. Yes, it is true that we use this wood or timber for furniture and other things. Yes, if we have a normal or mechanized way of doing that, some people feel it illicit, illegally. They just don't put any measure in place while they are harvesting. It hits the soil particles, it hits the ground, it affects the soil structure, you know, and a whole lot of things affect the ecosystem during the harvesting of these lodges. And so care must be taken whilst lodging this timber for export or for other products. Then we look at the silvopastoral and agroforestry system. I've already talked about that, the integration practice, the livestock and other forestry. You know, when you see an environment that you have all nature coming around, you see that the place is conducive. You love to even sleep there. You love to enjoy most of your time there. But if things are going extinct in that ecosystem, you are not comfortable. Same way that I want to, if I get to my room, I need an air condition to help me, you know, ease off the pressure. I need a television to watch the movie. Same thing that our ecosystem also needs. That ecosystem needs that refreshing nature to help conserve carbon for us, to sequester carbon for us to mitigate climate change. We are all looking for a way to mitigate climate change. And I know that if we focus on our forest, if we focus on managing our forest very well, we'll be able to mitigate our climate change. Then natural regeneration and reforestation. When we cut the trees, what do? We need to replant them. We just cut them and leave and expect that it will regrow. No, it will not. Now in Ghana, what specifically, I will show you this picture. This is the President of the Republic of Ghana, and he has instituted Green Ghana Day every July in the year. And in that day, no one does anything. Different species of trees and other shrubs, you know, are given to farmer groups, given to institutions, individuals to go and plant and manage, not just to go and plant. You plant and you manage, because if you don't manage it, the trees will die. And so this is what Ghana is doing. The rest of Africa, what are we doing? We need to adopt this and make sure our green nature that we were known for is back. If we look at some statistics for Ghana tree planting, in 2021, about 7 million of the seedlings were planted. 81% is surviving as we speak. Then 2022, 26 million, 71 is also surviving. Then just very this year, about 33 million of these plants were grown, and it's under review from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Now we look at fisheries. The fisheries approach is approach that prioritizes the healthy and sustainability of entire ecosystem rather than focusing solely on the individual species. You know, when we get into the fisheries industries, there is something called marine protected areas. Why do we protect that area? It's a designated zone where fishing and human activities are restricted. You see, not all fishes need to be harvested. Some must be there to produce. And if we allow people just to go and harvest the fish, most of the species will be extinct. And so we need to protect the marine, some part of our water bodies, so that most of our fishes, the species that we consume most, especially in West Africa, start not to be extinct. Because if we do that, we need to go and import fishes into our countries. And this is huge money. Huge money will be involved in importing fishes. So it is left for us as Africans to get on board and make sure that we protect our marine. Then we look at habitat restoration and enhancement. You know, these habitat, they need the conducive area, like the fishes. They need the seagrass beds. It's like what I was illustrating, what you human being you need, the same thing that the fishes also need. And so if we don't protect their environment, their room, their hall, their bedroom, so to speak, they cannot survive. You will go and you will not have them to harvest. And so these are some of the solutions that we need to consider in terms of the fisheries. Yes, one more important thing is the research innovation. We need to involve researchers, as we do most of the time. Those species that are going extinct, we need to have the data so that there could be reproduction, so that we can maintain the fisheries industry. Else, for about 5 to 10 years' time, we will not get some species of fish to catch. And it will be very, very embarrassing, especially to us as Africans. Then we also have to look at monitoring in all this. If there is no monitoring and monitoring by the government, by the stakeholders, we cannot achieve anything. People are illegally farming, mining, and using the mercury, cadmium, arsenic. You know, they use that to mine, and it washes down into the stream, into our water bodies. What are we doing? The fishes will take these, because these arsenic, cadmium, lead, they are all heavy metals. So if there is no protection of the ecosystem, the fisheries ecosystem, our fishes are going to take in these elements, these hard-borne elements, poisonous elements. And so to speak, I know you know the answer. What will happen if we harvest such fish to eat? And so it is very, very important that we protect the fisheries industry. Then, last of we look at the aquaculture. It is not too much different from the fisheries because in more the broader sense, we are looking at integrating multi-tropic aquaculture. You know, we cultivate multiple species in close proximity, you know, with waste from one species serving as nutrient for the other. Some fishes feed on other fishes. So if you provide that environment, it means that the fishes that we want them to survive will always survive because they are feeding on some fishes that they feed on to grow. Then we also look at selective breeding and genetic improvement program. It is quite similar to what I just mentioned. Breeding programs aim to develop strains of fish and shellfish that are more resilient, disease resistant, and well suited for the environment. You cannot just grow any fish or go into aquaculture production just because you want to do it. You have to look at the environmental condition. What is the environmental condition in Ghana? Could the fish go into stress? Let's look at Mali. Let's look at Guinea. Look at your environment, which fish will thrive well. Then you go into it. So I am looking at this positively that every country may adopt or may, through research, see the best species that can do very well in that country. Then we can do intertrading. This is very good in the future, especially for the youth. So I'm putting this across that we deliberate on this and see how we can come out with the best solution. So in conclusion, what I'll say is there's a need to protect the ecosystem for sustainable agriculture and promote climate resilience. And stakeholders should be encouraged to avoid activities that poses threat to the ecosystem for a better future. Thank you very much. I am Samuel.
Thank you, Mr. What energy. Well, Mr. Binfo, for this brief presentation. I think the essential has been said about agriculture, fishery, forestry, and agriculture. Today, it is very important that farmers, fishermen, and aquaculturists take account of ecosystem-based solution in these different areas in Africa or West Africa. So now we will continue with the panelists. Okay, now we will continue with the panelists started. Madam Zansbia, are you here?
Here.
Madam, are you
Yes.
here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. Okay. Madam, we starting with you, who will try to answer the following discussion. Where is the discussion? Please, one moment.
Okay.
1 moment. Oh, okay. Okay. Madam, your question or your subject is how you will relate ecosystem budget solution in agriculture with the benefits of the local community or local farmers and agriculturists of West African. Alors.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much.
Please, one moment. Mes amis en français, s'il vous plaît, vous pouvez noter vos questions. Nous allons continuer avec Madame Zambia qui va nous parler sur les solutions basées en agriculture, comment il faut faire que les agriculteurs locaux bénéficient et les, et les PCR peuvent bénéficier et surtout protéger les écosystèmes naturels. Madame, vous pouvez commencer. We can start.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much. I also appreciate Samuel that his presentation was superb. So now I'm coming to the questions. You have asked that ecosystem-based solutions in agriculture and their benefits with the farmers. So basically, ecosystem-based solutions in agriculture can offer several benefits in West Africa for the farmers. A region that faces numerous agricultural and environmental challenges. So implementing different practices can help to address the challenges and improve the livelihoods of the farmers in the region, as agriculture is a direct victim of the climate change. So a lot of countries where high levels of dependence on agriculture as a source of livelihood, predominance of rain-fed agricultural systems, and low adoptive capacities create high levels of vulnerability. So through increasing temperatures, changing precipitation patterns, and an increase in the frequency and intensity of fluids and drought, climate change is already adversely impacting agricultural productivity and food security. And the situation is expected to worsen with the projected future climate change. So I must say that it is also worth noting that agriculture is both a cause and a potential solution to climate change. So the agricultural sector is one of the major contributors through ecosystem-based solutions. Farmers can adopt ecosystem-based approaches such as crop rotation, cover cropping, and agroforestry, as Samuel said that earlier. It will improve soil fertility, water retention, and overall soil health. So this can result in increased crop yields and produce more food and increase their income. And farmers can also adopt practices like agroforestry, which integrates trees with crops, so they can provide additional sources of income through the sale of tree products like timber, fruits, and nuts. This diversification can reduce the vulnerability of farmers to income fluctuations. And they can enhance the resilience, as West Africa is prone to climate variability and extreme weather events. Ecosystem-based solutions, including drought-resistant crop varieties, agroforestry, and soil health improvements. So these all things can enhance the resilience of the farming system to changing climate conditions. And behind all these things, pest and disease management is also an important tool. So integrated pest management and polyculture practices can help manage pests and diseases effectively. So it will reduce crop losses and the need for costly chemical inputs. And this will lead to more sustainable farming practices and cost saving, of course, for farmers. And soil erosion, as we can see, it is also a significant problem in parts of the West Africa. So conservation practices like no-till farming, cover cropping, and crop rotation can also help to prevent soil erosion, and it will maintain soil quality, and protect arable land for future generations. And water management is also an important tool. Efficient water use and irrigation practices, particularly in regions with water scarcity, it can help to maintain crop productivity and ensure water resources as used sustainably. And nutrient cycling, ecosystem-based approaches promote nutrient recycling, which is an important tool for the soil fertility. And organic matter build up in the soil. This reduces the need for the expensive chemical fertilizers, of course, and ensure long-term soil fertility. So by using this approach, like nutrient cycling, farmers don't need to buy chemical fertilizers, so it will be effective for them. And biodiversity conservation is also important, as implementing practices like agroforestry and mixed cropping system. And also I would add greenhouse conservation. In greenhouses, you can grow plants, and this can enhance biodiversity on the farms. This can lead to more resilient ecosystems. It will support pollinators also and protect beneficial insects, which in turn add in crop production. And many ecosystem-based practices reduce the reliance on expensive inputs such as synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, helping farmers save money and reduce their financial risk. Agroforestry and other practices they incorporate trees help, like sequester carbon, contributing to climate change mitigation and potentially providing opportunities for carbon credited programs. And higher crop yields and diversified farming systems contribute to increased food security in the region, helping farmers meet the nutritional needs of their families and their communities also. And so at the end, I must say that it is important to note that the success of ecosystem-based solutions in West Africa, as in other regions also, depends on the local conditions and their knowledge transfer and the active engagement of the farmers and the communities. Agriculture extension services, trainings, and the support from the government, NGOs, and the research organizations, and the seminars and the conferences can play a crucial role in promoting and implementing all these practices which I have discussed. And the second thing too, you have asked that ecosystem services for farming. So improving soil conditions benefits production as well as providing a range of ecosystem services to the broader community, including water purification, breakdown of wastes and toxins, regulation of atmospheric gases, like including, we can include carbon and nitrogen, and water flows, and regulation of the weather also. That's it. If you have any other question, so you can ask.
Thank you for this presentation. Commander Health. Thank you very much. What in Asia? I think you send your Commander Health. You will explain it every day. We have 1 moment, minutes, please, 1 minute. Hello, madam. Also, our next panelist is Mr. Adebayo. Mr. Adebayo?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah, I'm
okay.
ready.
Vous êtes libre d'intervenir en français comme en anglais si vous voulez. OK?
Okay,
and now you're from Togo. Togo, our language, your language is French. Okay? You are free for speak in English or French. Okay? Okay.
Okay, merci beaucoup.
Tu peux continuer. Mr. Adebayo.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Oui, c'est bon. Okay, thank you for I think my question is about the role of forestry, about how they contribute to climate change and mitigation and carbon sequestration. So I will try to do my presentation in English and switch into French to my colleague French to understand. First of all, I want to start my pitching in English first. And we notice that the forests have a great role to play in the climate change mitigation, because we can see that the global warming that we observe in our daily lives, it is a reality, a great thing. And if we want to reduce the global warming, we have to do reforestation, and the forests have a great role to play by the sequestration of carbon, the sequestration of greenhouse gas, and others. So we try to promote reforestation and agroforestry also, because I said in my previous intervention that my organization, we are most intervened in rural area. We are working with smallholders. So we try to combine agroforestry by planting trees with agriculture to promote the reforestation of landscape. That's very important for us to reduce the phenomenon of greenhouse gases into the climate change effect. And also, one of the things we do with the community is to restore the landscape by reforestation. And especially in my country, Togo, we have a special day for reforestation, which is every 1st of June of every year, which is a national day for us. The Ministry of Environment, every service, governmental service, NGO, schools, everybody is concerned about do reforestation, planting trees that day, and later we try to maintain and to monitoring the trees. So, je vais revenir un peu en français pour faire le récapitulatif. Je disais que les forêts jouent un rôle essentiel dans la préservation de l'écosystème, notamment dans la réduction des gaz à effet de serre. Parce que nous savons qu'avec le réchauffement climatique, les gaz à effet de serre ont un rôle majeur dans cela. Et nous savons que les forêts, surtout les arbres, jouent un rôle catalyseur, c'est-à-dire dans la préservation et dans le stockage de ces gaz-là. C'est-à-dire les forêts, les arbres stockent les gaz à effet de serre, les CO2 et autres là pour nous préserver. Quand on parle du net zéro, c'est-à-dire l'objectif net zéro, c'est-à-dire qu'il y a équilibre entre nos émissions de gaz à effet de serre et ce que la capacité d'absorption de la nature. Et on voit qu'après les mers, c'est les forêts qui viennent en deuxième position en tant que puits carbone. Quand on parle de puits carbone naturel, les forêts viennent en deuxième position. Donc, c'est pourquoi c'est très important d'entretenir les forêts, de préserver les forêts. Et je crois que c'est une approche holistique que nous devons utiliser ensemble pour préserver les forêts. Parce que c'est bien de prendre les arbres, mais une chose aussi est de la préservation et la conservation.
Ok, Adebayo, merci beaucoup. Madame Zabia, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adebayo. I think you have said it all. I would just like to add it as a negotiator in agriculture and food security, that the solution Madam has mentioned should be taken into account. Today, in the negotiation, our concern is, or our preoccupation is how our agriculture can use agroforestry, biotechnology, and agroecology technique to cope with climate change. But I hope that at COP28, an agreement will be reached on his. Now, nous allons passer, mes amis français, nous allons passer, Madame a parlé de les solutions basées en agriculture et M. Adebayo aussi a parlé un peu sur foresterie et autres. Et aujourd'hui, dans les négociations, c'est notre préoccupation et nous espérons qu'à la COP28, nous allons trouver une solution. Maintenant, notre prochain panéliste, our next panelist is Madame Itissar. Madame Itissar. Madame Itissar from Morocco. Okay.
So
Are you there?
it is,
Are
you can
ready?
hear me, Emil? So we'll start.
Madame?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me transport you back to my childhood in Morocco. I was that curious kid who spent hours exploring nature's hidden treasures, where the soil beneath my feet held a practical fascination. So as I grew, my childhood curiosity involved me into a deep passion for agriculture, which eventually led me to become a PhD student specializing in soil health and carbon sequestration. In my home country, and like many regions globally, agriculture is not only a source of livelihood for a significant portion of the population, but also a sector deeply intertwined with our rich ecosystems. So it's in this context that I would like to highlight the importance of adopting ecosystem-based solutions. As an agricultural engineer, I've seen firsthand the challenges we face in terms of soil degradation.
Madam, please Please, there is a problem with the volume. Can you?
I think this is the maximum, and I do all my best to speak loudly to hear me. So I will speak loudly. Okay. So as an agricultural engineer, I've seen firsthand the challenges we face in terms of soil degradation, water scarcity, and the impact of climate change on our agricultural practices, where ecosystem-based solutions offer us a way to address these issues holistically. So by taking inspiration from nature and acknowledging the complex interactions within ecosystems, we can develop sustainable agricultural practices that improve soil health and enhance the resilience of our farms. So my research as a PhD student is specifically focused on soil health and carbon sequestration. So healthy soils not only support crop productivity, but also act as a crucial carbon sink, helping to mitigate the effects of climate change. So the ecosystem-based solutions through regenerative agricultural practices and afforestation can significantly contribute to these objectives. But it's not just agriculture. The principles EBS extend to forestry, fisheries, and aquaculture as well. In Morocco, our forests are an integral part of our culture and environment, where sustainable forestry practices driven by EBS are essential to ensure that we continue to benefit from these vital ecosystems without depleting them. So our fisheries and aquaculture sectors are equally important, providing employment and nourishment, and also balancing conservation and harvest through measures like marine protected areas and responsible aquaculture can maintain healthy fish populations and the coastal ecosystems. So I've had the privilege of working on various projects that highlight the efficacy of ecosystem-based solutions, demonstrating that we can achieve positive outcomes for both the environment and our communities. So these successes underscore the potential for replication not only in Morocco, but worldwide. However, it's important to acknowledge the challenges that come with implementing the EBS and the need for supportive policies and stakeholders collaboration. So as a community of young leaders and activists, it's our responsibility to work together, share knowledge, and create an environment where ecosystem-based solutions can thrive. So in conclusion, the power of ecosystem-based solutions in agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and aquaculture is undeniable. So it is my hope that through our collective efforts and by embracing these solutions, we can pave the way for a more sustainable, resilient future, not only for Morocco, but for the world as well, and of course the West Africa. So thank you guys for your attention, and I look forward to engaging in fruitful discussions with my fellow panelists at the audience. Thank you so much.
Madam, thank you. Also for the volume was not cool, but
I'm sorry for my technical issues. I am in the field and I'm trying to do like the panel. As you see, I am outside.
Madame Zasbia, vous allez expliquer un peu après. Okay. Now, count the time. I would like to move on to the next panelist. which is Mr. Kamara from Sierra Leone. Mr. Kamara, are you here? Mr. Kamara. Oh la la. Mr. Kamara. One moment, Mr. Kamara. Hello? Mr. Kamara, hello? Hello? I think he is not with us. But, Mr. Binofu, or Madam Zasbia, can you help us for the question for Mr. Kamara? Mr. Kamara is not with us. Mr. Kamara is not here.
Okay. Okay, let me try to contact with Mr. Kamara.
Mr. Kamara, how can community-based aquaculture initiative engage local community in sustainable fish farming practice that support both the environment and livelihood? Can you help us, Madam, if this is a subject?
Give me just 1 minute. Mr. Kamara is about to join us.
Okay. Where is Mr. Binofu? No? Okay. Unfortunately, Mr. Kamara is not with us. I don't know how. Yeah. One moment, okay, please. I don't know how do it that. I don't know. Mr. Kamara is not with us. Can somehow help us, please? Mr. Adebayo, tu as des nouveaux sur ça, tu peux nous exposer sur ça un peu? Allô?
Hello, yes, I can hear you now.
Madam, can you help us?
Okay, So Mr. Kamara was about to talk on aquaculture, right?
Yes, yes. Yes. No agriculture. No agriculture.
Aquaculture.
Voilà, aquaculture. That's it.
Okay.
Aquaculture.
Okay.
Community-based
Okay.
aquaculture initiative in engaged local community in sustainable fish farming practices
Okay.
that support both. Can you help us, please?
Okay.
For
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay. Let me try. So you have asked that community-based aquaculture engagement with the local communities in the sustainable fish farming practices. So I think community-based aquaculture initiatives can engage local communities in sustainable fish farming practices, so that benefit both the environment and the livelihoods through a variety of the strategies and approaches. So approaches and strategies can include community participation and the ownership, like encouraging active participation of the local community members in all stages of the aquaculture project, from planning to decision making to implementation and management. And local ownership fosters a sense of responsibility and commitment to the project success. And the next will be needs assessment. So conducting through need assessment to understand the specific requirements, preferences and constraints of the local community. This ensures that the aquaculture projects aligns with the community's goals and the resources. And to provide training and capacity building programs to the community members. This will include technical training on the fish farming practices. It will also include water management, water quality management, and disease prevention, and business and financial programs or financial management. Building local expertise empowers community members to take charge of their own fish farming operations, and to promote sustainable resources management practices. To emphasize the responsible use of the land, water, and other natural resources. Encourage communities to protect and restore nearby ecosystems such as mangroves or wetlands, which play a crucial role in supporting aquaculture systems. So to access to technology is also very important. So facilitate access to the technology, access to the appropriate aquaculture technologies and equipments, taking into the consideration of the community's specific needs to the financial capacities. Introduce low-cost, efficient technologies that are suitable for the small-scale or backyard aquaculture, and to assist communities in establishing market linkages and access to the local and regional markets, and to help community members develop marketing strategies, of course, and value-added products to increase income from their aquacultural activities. To train community members is also very important in the risk assessment and management. This can include actually preparing for natural disasters, disease outbreaks, and market fluctuations. Encourage the development of the community-based insurance or risk-sharing mechanism need to be developed, and to promote responsible and environmentally friendly aquaculture practices, which is very important, and encourage the use of the sustainable needs, minimize waste and nutrient pollution, and prevent the escape of the farmed fish into natural water bodies. And encourage diversification in aquaculture production is also important. Community members can farm various species of the fishes and other aquatic organisms, reducing the risk associated with the monoculture and enhancing ecosystem resilience. And to strengthen social cohesion with the community is also considerable, foster cooperation and collective decision making to address challenges and opportunities related to the aquaculture progress and impact of the aquaculture initiative. Community members should be involved in the data collection and the feedback processes. To assist communities in accessing microfinance or grants for the aquaculture projects, support the development of the community savings and credit groups for investment in the fish farming, and facilitate the exchange of the knowledge and experience among communities involved in the aquaculture initiatives, and learning from the knowledge learning to facilitate the exchange of the knowledge and experiences among the communities involved in the aquaculture initiatives, and learning from successful practices and innovations in the neighboring communities can enhance the sustainability of the local projects also. So engage the local authorities and policymakers to advocate for policies and regulations that support the sustainable aquaculture and the rights of the local communities. So I will conclude by saying this, that community-based aquaculture initiatives that prioritize environmental sustainability and community well-being can contribute to food security, poverty reduction, and the conservation of the aquatic ecosystem. And by actively involving local communities, local persons, and tailoring approaches to their unique circumstances, and these initiatives can be successful in supporting both the environment and the livelihoods also. So that's it.
Okay. Madam, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For this work, on behalf of Mr. Kamara, now I see that we move on today's question and answer session. We still have a few minutes ahead of us. We have 10 minutes, I think, 10 minutes. Yes, 10 minutes. OK. Mais, mes chers amis, merci d'être là. Pour ceux qui ne comprennent pas anglais, Madame Zanspia vient de nous sauver à la place de M. Kamara. Il n'a pas été là. Je tiens à remercier Madame pour ça. Donc, Mr. Benofo aussi a disparu. Je ne sais pas si M. Benofo est là, M. Adebayo est là. Donc, pour les questions, si vous avez posé des questions, vous pouvez poser des questions. Les panélistes vont vous répondre. Donc, thank you very much. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Intisa, for his bullying. Okay.
I think Mr. Kamara have forgot about this.
No, I don't think.
Maybe, yes, maybe he have some network problem, because in the morning he was saying that he is in area where connection problem is very common. So maybe.
Okay, he from Sierra Leone. I understand. Connection is
yes.
Sierra Leone connection is very bad right now.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? Even here in China, connection is also very poor, because I'm using VPN to use Zoom, so it is also not easy for me. But now, luckily, it is working very, very well.
Okay, 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 madame. Okay.
Moi, ici au Maroc, on a une très bonne connexion, mais malheureusement, le son n'est pas aussi bien.
Okay, for all, have you any question? Your question, please.
Actually, her voice is breaking. I can't hear clearly.
Hi. Okay. I don't think there is an indication. Your attention, please. We have 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Okay. These are enough.